What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Guys, I'm getting this link posted, and then we'll be good to go. What's up, everybody? Guys, we'll be doing a market scan. Drop me any tickers you guys want me to cover in the chat down below. Did I exit APLD when it hit 15? I exited around 14. I got out around like 14.1, I believe. Thoughts on Cisco earnings? I'm not here, guys, to predict the earnings. I'm here to play the earnings aftermath, guys. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. What up, guys? Drop any tickers down below in the chat, guys. We'll start out with Tesla. A lot of people have been talking about Tesla. And so, I mean, rightfully so, right? There's a couple key things that I'm personally watching for Tesla. LLY, I'll do that one after, guys. Alright, so the key thing that I'm watching here for Tesla, guys, is the fact that we've had a double inside monthly bar, and now we're trying to approach the previous month. For me, it's very simple. Above 338s most likely gets us to 360 really quickly. I'm thinking within the next couple weeks we can have a 10% plus move, honestly. So, we shall see, guys. We shall see. Spamming the tickers in the chat, guys. Also, don't worry. You don't have to spam them. I'm reading the chats, so bear with me. I have a bunch of different chats going right now. We're streaming on a bunch of different sites, so by spamming it, it makes me less wanting to go over it, just because I want to make sure I get to everyone's tickers. So just please say it once or twice. That's it, guys. So I'm gonna say Tesla monthly coiled double monthly inside bar breaks at 338. Over 340 sends us to I would say 365 to 375, honestly. First stop. I think $400 is possible before end of year, but we'll see, guys. We'll see. All right, I'm trying to read this chat. So we got OKLO next. Also, guys, just so you know, I post all of my analysis in the Discord at all times, and so if you don't see it in there, for me, it's not considered an A+++ trade. So OKLO here, they have earnings this week, so I'm going to discredit that. Any name that has earnings, guys, I would say 99% of the time, at least like 95% of the time, I'm not taking any trades pre-earnings. I'm only going to take it post-earnings, right? Finvolution, I don't know what that is. FinV? So it's in a daily downtrend, weeklies technically in an uptrend, monthlies in an uptrend. I mean, I never heard of this ticker before. It's clear that we have some type of resistance around like 11 bucks, so I would say just wait for above 11. Has earnings coming up, so above like 11 bucks, probably good to go right there. LLY, so I shorted LLY last week. 2 different times. The first time was about 150% gain. Second time got stopped out. I'm thinking like a dream target could be like 520, but first up will be like 590. This chart could definitely be damaged. It can possibly flip to a monthly downtrend for the first time like ever. So again, UNH, same deal, has been in a monthly uptrend literally forever, and now it's flipped to the downside. So this chart could take a long time. So we'll see. Thank you guys for the gifts on TikTok. And remember, if you're not already following, guys, double tap the screen, drop me a follow, drop me some likes. Really appreciate that, guys. What's up, Salty Crew on YouTube? So next up is Serve, someone said. Again, I'm trying to get to all the tickers, guys. We had a bunch of different chats going, so I will do my best here. And again, if you guys want to make sure that all of your questions are answered and I do analysis on everything, join the Discord, click the link in the bio, use code ZACH. I never leave any questions unanswered. So we just had earnings here. We're really just going sideways. So for me, I want to see us above 12. Above 12 is a trigger, even buying into strength. I'd rather do that because this could easily break down further to the downside. Snow and then AMD and then Starbucks. So Snow actually looks kind of ugly here, truthfully. We could easily fill this gap if we go below 190 down to like 180. Looking at this weekly chart, we close under the weekly 20 EMA. We're right at the monthly 8. So yeah, I definitely think if we break below like 190, a date with 180 to 175 is on the table. And then from there, that's probably a good area to go long. AMD and then Starbucks, guys. Again, double tap that screen, guys. Like the stream. Really appreciate everybody supporting the stream. So AMD is a pretty good look to here. You know, a little bit of a daily bull flag with a little failure to go lower action there from earnings. Looking at this weekly chart, weekly reset, nice. Monthly inside bar. So I'd say you can anticipate the monthly breaking out, or you can just wait for the monthly break. Either one's good. This is one that we'll probably have to wait for tomorrow. How long did it take you to learn the fundamentals of trading? It took me, a long time. From the point I really started educating myself, it was about a year though. Starbucks is in a daily downtrend, weekly downtrend, monthly downtrend. So I don't want to short this name, but I also definitely won't long it. BBAI. Appreciate the gifts, guys. Appreciate the gifts. Again, if you're not already following, drop me a follow. Really appreciate that. I hop on here to try to help you guys. So BBAI has earnings this week, so I'm not going to check that one out. Already covered OKLO. Already covered Finvolution. AS has earnings in 2 weeks. This name's just been consolidating, not seeming to be a big mover, so I'll probably wait till after earnings for this one. NU also has earnings this week, so I'd wait for after that one. WeRide, I'm pretty sure this chart's kind of ugly. Yeah, this one's still a monthly downtrend. I mean, we don't have a ton of data, but I would say wait for above like 12 bucks or so, because I mean, you could really honestly make the case that this is a weekly bear flag waiting to break down, truthfully. I don't really know anything about the company, but it could do something like that, possibly, right? Zeta. I'm still learning, by the way, Sus. I'm still learning. You know, no one's perfect in trading, in my opinion. I always say the best thing to do is just continue to learn. So we kind of have a funky daily chart here. If I had to guess, weekly inside bar, maybe make a move for the end of the next week. Monthly is still in an uptrend, so I would say, yeah, probably weekly inside bar. If we, for some reason, break last week high, that could be a long. So I would say one of two things. A break of last week high or a retest of the daily 8 for a long. It might retest the daily 20. That would definitely be a long at like 16.5. What do you think of XRP in the upcoming weeks? I don't really do much crypto, guys. I don't really do much crypto. Great channel. Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. RGTI. RGTI's earnings. For any name that has earnings this week, I'm not going to cover it just for the sake of time because, again, I can give you a bullish analysis, a bearish analysis. I can give you any analysis, but earnings could, skew that. TTD, for example, great example, right? Daily uptrend, weekly was trying to work, monthly was trying to flip to the upside. Now, unless this monthly rallies all the way back to like 80 bucks, this chart is probably ruined for at least till the end of the year, right? With that 40% drop. So you're in a short from 745 on what? RGTI, Amazon, Nvidia. Guys, let's see if we get to 2K likes on TikTok, guys. Let's see if we get to 2K likes on TikTok. Again, if you're not already following, guys, please do me a favor, double tap that screen, like the stream. Really appreciate that. Shri, thank you for the follow as well on TikTok. Appreciate that. So Amazon's trying to get that rally back, right? We tested that weekly 20 EMA, monthly 8 EMA. The chart's a bit funky, so I would say it needs to get back over like 2268s. Not my favorite chart at the moment. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's solid daily inside bar for this one. Again, just continue to buy the higher time frame EMA dips. That's all you can do there. Thank you guys for the gifts as well. Appreciate that. AMD covered that. TTD covered that. ASTS. So ASTS has earnings this week, so there's nothing really we can do in there. SoundHound. This one looks solid. For me, I want to see us clear 14.4s. Above there looks really good. Serve covered that. You have 590 puts. I forgot what we were talking about for that one, Michael. Yeah, I don't really, Lord Shy, I don't really play news, so yeah, there could be some type of news for like a tax benefit or something for AMD and NVIDIA. I think the chart tells you everything you need to know, so the news could just be a catalyst, of course, but, you know. Okay, covered Zeta, covered AS, ACHR. Guys, we're at 1.3K likes on TikTok, guys. I think with 2K likes, really appreciate that. ACHR also has earnings this week, and I'll say it again, guys. I just said it, but any names has earnings this week, I'm not going to cover right now. There's really no point. Earnings can make it. You know, any of my analysis for good or for bad mean nothing, right? I stick to the post-earnings setups. Post-earnings setups, guys. MP. Yeah, this one's at, you know, all-time highs. So again, play the same game, buy the all-time highs. IonQ, and then NVTS, and then Sezzle, guys. All right. We got some names flowing. Victoria Kimonos, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. What's up, Jeffrey Watt? Hey, Georgia. Again, guys, click the link in the bio if you're not already in the Discord. That's where I post all my trades, all my analysis, live voice chat pretty much every single day. We have 12 exclusive analysts as well. Use code ZAC. Code ZAC is on the screen. That'll get you that 30% discount for life. So IonQ here, still in a daily downtrend, weekly inside bar, monthly's kind of funky. This name's just been really range bound for a while, right, since the end of May. So this could continue to get range bound for a bit. You know, this name went on a pretty crazy run from these April lows. It went over double, right? Went from 20 to about 50. So this name can continue to be range bound for a bit. So not overly interested in this one right now. ASTS rebounding to 60, not sure. Covered Archer, covered Amazon, covered Lucid, covered TTD, BMNR, and then we'll do Sezzle. I'm not forgetting Ucenti. This one's solid. This one's just a bit more speculative because it had this crazy move, right? It literally went from pennies to 150. And so, you know, this is one of those rare exceptions where a stock that looks like this could maybe work. So I'm not overly interested in this one just yet, you know. Again, this could easily work, just it's kind of a funky chart, right? Sezzle, Pavan, thank you for the gifts, appreciate that. Yeah, this one got whacked. We're at the monthly 8. I'm personally interested in buying if we have a crazy climactic dip to that monthly 20 EMA around 62. I don't think it does happen, but in the event that it does, I'm interested there. Tiger to 15. This is a good looking chart as well. I don't know if it'll get to 15 soon, but it's definitely possible, right? We have earnings coming up. That could be the catalyst we need. So if you look at this monthly chart, we have these kind of upper wicks here, and I'm kind of thinking that this upper wick gets taken out, possibly by the end of the year. But if not, it could set up for a yearly 1, 2, 3, where starting beginning of next year, we can trigger that to the upside. But again, we've really just been range bound for quite some time here on Tiger. Already covered Amazon, RGTI, TTD. Solid lid, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate that. So Baba, I really like this one. This one has earnings this week. This is one of the rare times where I potentially would take a trade pre-earnings, just because I really like how coiled this is, right? If you look at right here, pretty coiled, right? Weekly inside bar. You know, we're really, really tight here. Just for people who like those trend lines, right? I think 140 is definitely possible with good earnings, of course. The weekly's been really tight, monthly's been tight. Everything's been tight here, so I'm looking for 140 here on a swing. Baba, weekly inside bar. ER this week, rare name. I may take beforehand, 140 T1. I'm trying to just get caught up with Instagram, guys. Then I'm going to move on here. Hood's very simple, guys. Play the all-time high game as well. There's no secret here. Buy the higher time frame EMA dips. That's all you can do. AAL, this is not a ticker I like to trade at all, but I can just do it for you. Daily downtrend, weekly downtrend, monthly downtrend. I'm not short in this name, as always, but there's no reason to trade it. Covered WRD, covered NVIDIA, covered TTD, Amazon, Tesla, covered that. Lucid. There's no reason to trade Lucid, guys. I did see some flow coming into it, but again, flow kind of means nothing. This is a dead chart, right? Anything right now that looks like this compared to the S&P 500, completely just stay away, guys. Covered BMNR, covered Tesla, ASML. I'll cover MSTR and VEEV right after Pavan. ASML is still in a monthly downtrend, daily downtrend, and weekly is actually trying to hold on here. So we would need to see a very strong weekly pop here, back over like 750s, realistically, to make this thing still valid. VEEV, and then I'm going to get back. VEEV, this one's just been going sideways for a bit. I took a stab here on VEEV. This name could just really just want to consolidate more, honestly. For me now, the target or the trigger for VEEV is above 295. This broke out of this multi-year consolidation very heavily, so it could take some more time to kind of base out, which is kind of what I'm aiming for right now, truthfully. LRCX, and then we'll do MSTR right after. This one's looking solid here. Let's see. Monthly, if we could break last month high, would be valid. Daily looks good. Yeah, everything looks good here. I would say a break of last month high would send us to like 106, 107. So break of last month high, we can long now on the nice failure to go lower with the earnings recovery for sure. MU is also on my watch list, which I'll cover in a second here. LRCX, weekly failure to go lower. Nice ER recovery. Over last month high can long, targeting 107, 107 and 110. MSTR is next. Guys, make sure you double tap that screen, guys. Like the stream, really appreciate you guys. Again, if I went over your ticker or I didn't cover it, or you missed it because I already did cover it, make sure you join the Discord. I'm happy to go over duplicates there, but just for the sake of time right now on stream, I can't go over the same ticker. If I did Tesla every single time someone asked me, I'd be covering Tesla for an hour straight. So it's just not going to be able to be possible. So with MSTR, it's in a daily downtrend here. The monthly did, or I should say, the monthly could have potentially tagged the monthly 8 EMA via time. The weekly here is an inside bar. So the daily back into an uptrend, you could probably long that. Let me see what else. Already covered Hood. Axon. This one's not bad. I would say just probably wait for the daily 8 EMA to catch up. Our Carton XYZ still good for swing? So good question. So XYZ never triggered last week. And also the key thing, like I said, right? We needed the monthly to flip. The monthly never flipped, as you guys can see right here. So therefore, there's no setup. Cart, however, I do still like. I think it may just need some time to set up here. We had the earnings gap up and then faded the gap and basically filled the gap. So now I still think this is valid for continuation back to the upside. It just may take a couple more days. That's all. NVIDIA covered, Tesla covered, Intel, oops. So it's a daily downtrend. I'm assuming everything's in a downtrend. So this is one of those names, guys. If you want to short it, go ahead. I don't want to short it, but I'm definitely not long in it, that's for sure. Any name that's in a monthly downtrend right now, or as the markets are pushing all-time high, just stay away. There's no reason. Let's see. Covered, Lucid, Netflix, and then Monday. All right. So Netflix, this one's very simple. Weekly, monthly are good. Just wait for that daily to get back into an uptrend. Once the daily flips, that one will be good for longs. Marvel. Guys, if you're not already following on TikTok as well, drop me a follow. Really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Let's see if we get to 3K likes, guys. We're at 2.3K on TikTok. Let's see if we get to 3K, guys. Really appreciate that. If you know those are in a day trade, why don't you play puts? Oh, downtrend. I do play puts sometimes. So last week, for example, I played puts on this. I made 100% on my first trade, 100% on my second trade on VRTX. The week before, I played UNH. For me, I don't like shorting cheap names. For me, if I'm going to short something, it's got to have some meat on the bones. I don't like shorting a $15 ticker that doesn't move much, a $20 ticker. Intel, a big day is like 50 cents to 80 cents. I don't really care to do that. UNH made a ton shorting that. LLY, and for me, if I'm going to short something, it's going to be a post-earnings setup. Otherwise, I'm just going to look for something along. Very simple. All right, let's keep it going, though. Someone said Monday. Monday has earnings this week, so I'm going to stay away from that. Guys, we're at 2.7K likes on TikTok, guys. Really appreciate that. Let's see if we get to 3K. Let's see if we get to 3K, guys. Come on. All right, so someone said Bull. Monday has earnings, by the way, so no. This one I think just may take some time. Monthly inside bar, I'd say, is more than likely probable. It's a slower mover, so I probably wouldn't touch it until above last month high. SMCI, I don't really love SMCI, guys, and this is why I don't like to predict earnings, because a good chart doesn't matter, a bad chart doesn't matter, right? So right now, for me, this needs to recover back above like $55, which could take a full other quarter. Big picture targets can still be valid, but big picture targets can be kind of squashed by earnings and kind of shorter term hurdles, I should say. Someone said Lunar and then Dave, and then we'll go over a couple others. I see you guys on Instagram. So we got a daily downtrend here on Lunar. We got a weekly downtrend here, and we got a monthly. It's kind of conflicted, so I probably wouldn't touch this one myself, guys. Dave. Yeah, this one's also a bit funky here. This daily's not looking good. The weekly's right at the 20, and the monthly's approaching this monthly EMA. So truthfully, I'm not a huge fan of this chart. It could see some more downside for sure. Figma, there's not enough data here. You could take a YOLO. If I were to do something with Figma, I would take a YOLO short underneath last week low. It's basically as a double inside bar. So that's what I've been looking to do, kind of flush out the people who went long. I do think we can see a climactic sell here. So this is one of the names I am targeting and have been watching for shorts. So Fig under last week low, can look for shorts. Double inside bar, 60 and 50 are targets. I do think this can see a kind of a delayed flush, truthfully, but we'll see. We don't have a lot of data with it. That's the only problem. FFAI, got you guys. Yeah, this one's a ugly chart, guys. I actually caught this move last year, crazy enough, but for now, this is a dead chart. Someone's saying Lulu. Okay, we're just about caught up on Instagram, which is cool. Also, guys, if anybody else has any other questions, regarding the Stock Dads Discord, futures trading, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, anything like that, feel free to let me know. So this is a really ugly chart as well. Daily downtrend, weekly downtrend, monthly downtrend. We're approaching the COVID lows here, right? Over here. So, I mean, that's really next up support. This chart, I've been telling people, once you're in a monthly downtrend, unless it reverses within 1 to 2 months, you're going to be in a monthly downtrend for most likely a long time, guys. It takes a lot of force to get into a monthly downtrend. I already covered Axon. Costco, let's see Costco. Daily's trying to flip up. Weekly still in a downtrend. Technically, monthly's inside bar. So it's not my favorite chart. It's a bit conflicted. I would say wait for the daily EMAs to catch up a little bit there. What do you think about BBAI? Not bad, but has earnings. Tell us about your Discord. Well, I'm live trading Discord almost every single day. We have 12 exclusive analysts. We got charting, live trading, futures, options, stocks, crypto, you name it, guys. We got everything. Again, click the link in the bio. Use code ZACH. They'll get you 30% off. I personally think that if you are interested, sign up for the yearly. The yearly ends up being like the same equivalent of like a 7 months if you do month by month with a discount. So that's what I would do personally. But coin. We'll do coin and then app, sure. Coin's in a daily downtrend. Weekly just tagged the 20. Monthly just about tagged the 8. So this thing needs to get back into a daily uptrend. I like MU. This chart needs to flip though. Weekly engulfing, monthly retested. I really like this back up to like 125 and 130, honestly. But the daily needs to flip. If the daily does flip, then we can long. MU, weekly buy setup, daily needs to flip. Over last week high can long. Targeting 125 and 130. Good looking chart there on MU. APP. So I'd say for app, this one's also very simple. I am looking for continuation here, but it probably needs to get that continuation like very early in the week. So I would say above last week high, really we're targeting $500, truthfully. This is a really good multi-month breakout here. So above last week high can long, targeting 502. App, nice ER pop. Breaking multi-month base. Over last week high can long. Targeting 500 on a swing, guys. What option would you play? What I do on BBAI? They have earnings this week, so nothing. If I take anything though, I'll post in the Discord. So Sing, I'm not sure if you're in the Discord, but if I do end up taking anything on this, I'll post in the Discord. So make sure you're in there. NU has earnings this week, so I'm not going to cover that one again. MYO, let's see this one. They also have earnings this weekend. It's a penny stock, so OKTA, guys, we're at 3.4K likes. Let's even get to 5K likes, guys. Let's even get to 5K likes on TikTok. Can we do it? Let's see, guys. Also, for those not already following, please do me a favor, double tap that screen, drop me a follow. Nicholas, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. OKTA, they have earnings in a couple weeks, so not quite yet. Weekly's in a downtrend. Monthly's not looking ideal. Daily's not looking good. So this is not one of my favorite charts for sure. Definitely better charts out there, guys. Let me know, guys, any other tickers, guys. Any other questions about myself, the Discord, anything like that, feel free to let it rip, guys. How do you join the Discord? Link's in the bio. Link is in the bio. Use code ZACH. Code ZACH for 30% off. DLTR. We already covered like 50 tickers. Jeez. We're ripping through these tickers, guys. DLTR earnings in 2 weeks. This weekly's just been parabolic. The monthly's still in a downtrend. So honestly, this is a strong chart. It's, you know, went crazy. It's basically doubled the last couple months. But with earnings in 2 weeks and the monthly not yet flipped, I probably wouldn't touch this one. DUOL. Again, the link is in the bio saying for the Discord. Using code ZACH gets you 30% off. This is a really funky chart, and this probably takes multiple days or weeks to kind of sort itself out. It shouldn't have faded here, but the problem was the weekly, I believe. Yeah, the weekly was still in a downtrend. So now, honestly, if this thing continues to fade, if it gets underneath 330, this thing can fade all the way back down to like 260, which would be a pretty funky look for it. PLTR. PLTR and Reddit. This is very simple, guys. You know, continue to buy the higher time frame EMA dips. There's really no secret here. It's all you can do, right? All you can do there. Reddit. This one's very strong. At this point, we're a bit extended from the daily 8 EMA. So I would say next daily 8 EMA pullback, whenever that does happen, that'll be a long. PSIX. I don't know what this is. I don't think I've ever heard of this. Power Solutions. They had an earning gap and fade last week. Let's see. Is this all-time high? Seems to be all-time high, so maybe not. Maybe yes. Yes, this is previous all-time high breaking. So, yeah, I'd say wait for this daily to set back up into a buy setup. SBAT, this one's similar to that BMNR, where it's a bit more speculative. It already kind of had that crazy run. Daily is flipping back to the upside, so maybe we could get some more juice on it, but not sure if it's my favorite name. Any other questions, guys? Any other tickers? Come on, let it rip, let it rip, let it rip. We're almost at 4K likes on TikTok, guys. Let's even get to 5K likes. Come on. TTD, I already covered TTD and AMD. My favorite name, I posted all my favorites in the Discord, Jay Silverman, so make sure you check that out. Let's see how many charts I got going. I posted, and again, anything I post in the Discord is for me, is something that we can potentially play within the next couple days to week, and for me, it's as close to an A+ setup as possible. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charts so far that are pretty A+. FNMA going PVT, what does that mean? Tiva? This chart's just been consolidating for a bit. Not my favorite chart. Yeah, PSIX was already at the highs, yes. CVX, this is also another really slow mover. This is not one that I typically trade, so, you know, if you want it, take it, but it's not one I love. Porch. Earnings gap up, fading back down to the daily 8. Not my favorite with this high tail, but probably a weekly inside bar, weekly 1, 2, 3 for next week. Apple, this one kind of got away from me. I mean, we could see continuation, truthfully, you know, but it is a bit extended now. It definitely is a bit extended. I mean, it's pretty wide open to 240, honestly. 240, 245. It's a bit extended, like I said, so if you're in it, definitely just buy time and hold, but huge move on Friday. Apple, huge move Friday. A bit extended. However, 240 to 245 remain targets. Fannie Mae released from government. Got you. Answer me this: when you use your margin and then close the trade, let's say positive, does the return to account to be used again, or does it need to clear? It depends on the trade, I believe. But I personally just use cash accounts, and for my margin accounts, I don't really day trade on it. I just swing trade. I already covered SoundHound. iNod. And again, guys, if anyone wants me to cover specific tickers that are in the Discord, make sure you just tag me in the chat. I'll go over them again. But for the sake of the stream, I only have limited time, so I'm not really going to do duplicates here. iNod here, it's in a daily downtrend. Weekly's kind of hanging on. Monthly's back down to the monthly 8. Not the best looking chart here, so I'll wait for the daily at the very least to flip back to the upside. Fly, guys, it just IPO'd 2 days ago. There's really nothing to do. Any trade you take on anything that has like less than 10 to 12 daily candles is just a complete YOLO. So again, if you want to take it long or short, it's a YOLO. So I already covered BMNR and SOUN. Again, I'm just repeating myself here. For the sake of time, I can't cover the same tickers multiple times. I'll go crazy doing that. And we're just going to run out of time and not be able to cover all the tickers. So I already covered ASTS. I already covered SBET, BMNR, MSTR. I did not cover IREN though. Daily's looking alright. Weekly's looking alright. Monthly inside bar. So I'd say this is a monthly inside bar. It might chop some more, but it looks good though. IREN does look good. Any ETH calls for Monday? I'm not going to take ETH, no. I already covered WeRide. Already covered MP. I'll cover Uber and Oscar though. I did not cover those two. Kind of an ugly daily bar there. The daily still needs to flip back to the upside. Weekly's a bit funky. Monthly's also a bit funky here. So I would say let the daily flip at the very least and then go from there. Then Oscar. Everyone loves this stock. I don't know what the hype is about it personally, but I would say for this, wait for the daily to get back into an uptrend. The weekly's also in a downtrend, so the monthly's just chopping around. Realistically, this thing's been in like a year-long mega, like, big range from like $20 to $10 if you really want to zoom out here, right? So for me, I really have no interest in this one. I already covered SMCI. Any other questions, guys? We are all caught up with tickers at least. And again, if I already covered stuff, make sure you tag me in the Discord, and I'll be sure to cover those again for anyone who missed. I already covered Netflix as well. Guys, make sure if you're not already following, double tap that screen, like the stream, drop me a follow. I really appreciate that. CRWV earnings this week. Does it have earnings? I don't know. Yeah, it does. This could probably provide a good post-earnings trade if I had to guess. It has, it's only had one earnings ever, so if I had to guess, probably a good post-earnings trade there. Guys, let me know if any other questions before I hop off. Rocket Lab. I'll do a couple more probably here. Yeah, this one had a gap up and kind of failure here on Rocket Lab. So this is going to probably take a couple days to maybe weeks to kind of sort itself out. The range is pretty wide here, 43.5 up to $50. So it's a pretty wide range there for a relatively smaller ticker. So for this, I would probably say let it kind of play out for a couple days. Open. I mean, there's a lot of buzz on this one. I just don't really mess with the cheap ones. I use the 820 EMA and VWAP, guys. That's the only indicators that I use. I already covered Amazon. I already covered, guys, I did like a speed run. I probably covered at least 50 to 60 tickers. And we got about 6 or 7 quality names already, you know, and that's not even counting whatever we're going to find tomorrow with, you know, the pre-market data. So definitely excited to kind of see what we got going on. MBTS. I'm going to do a couple more tickers and that's it probably. Daily downtrend. Weekly's under the 8. Monthly inside bar. Not my favorite. It's a bit conflicting. Was there anyone else that I liked? Any oil stocks? Not really. Not really. I don't really trade oil too much, guys. I'll probably do like 1 or 2 more tickers, guys. Then I'm gonna hop off. We've been on for a bit. We covered a lot. So let me know if there's like 1 or 2 more tickers. CVS. Daily's trying to flip back to the upside. I think the higher time frames are not so good here. Weekly inside bar, monthly is just kind of a mess. So definitely not my favorite ticker, and I don't really like trading this one to begin with, but we'll see. I already covered Amazon as well. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I'm getting a lot of duplicates now, meaning that we already covered a ton of stuff. If you missed something or I already covered something for you, make sure you're in the Discord. I'll be happy to cover something again in the Discord, but just for the sake of time on these streams, I'm not doing duplicates, as I mentioned. So if you're not already in that Discord, click that link in the bio. Use code ZACH, gets you a nice little discount. And that's all for tonight. So for those in the Discord, I'll see you guys tomorrow. For those not in the Discord, I hope to see you guys as well tomorrow. But that's all she wrote for tonight. So have a good rest of the day.